Hello, hello, and welcome, everyone. I am Lizzie, your host, one of the producers of the LizyT show. How are you doing this Wednesday already? Wednesday, my goodness, this month is just going by so quickly, and I can't believe we're here another day, almost ready to be part of Woman on Fire. Some of you know that I've been promoting Woman on Fire, and one of the sponsors as well of Woman on Fire, that is happening actually very, very soon. It is happening on April the 22nd and 23rd at Doubletree by Hilton. If you haven't gotten your ticket yet, you don't know what you're missing. The ticket, you can get it at Woman on Fire we'reblazing.com, and you'll be able to take part of this incredible event. If you haven't heard about it yet, well, make sure you check the website and get your ticket, because it's going to be an incredible weekend, 2 days, and obviously on the 23rd is the gala. And we have another Woman on Fire. But before I forget, I want to make sure that every show we are promoting a book. And today we're promoting a book. Is called The Peregrine Falcon Project, and by John Truffaut. And so if you have a book and you would like to be part of this talking about a brand new book, or if you are selling a book and you want us to feature you, we will be having it right here every show, and we have, trust me, a lot of them. Thank you so much for sending your books. I have a brand new background with I don't know if it's hundreds yet. I think we're probably about getting there, 100, almost 100 books. So every time I get them, I go to the mail and I check another book. I appreciate you sending it to me. That's incredible. I feel very, very honored. Anyhow, we are interviewing, I hate the word interview, we're having a conversation with another Woman on Fire, and I am so happy to be able to speak to this lady. Her name, as you can see here, is Hailey Patry, and she is another nominee or honoree for Woman on Fire. She is happily married, mom of 3 boys. I got 2 girls, this 3 boys. I don't know what that is like. Best known for her work as a true happiness coach, the marriage mentor and relationship repair specialist, and the happiness business coach. She is a 5-time award-winning author. Wow. Here I am, one book and working on the second. Good for you, Hailey. An international bestseller, and she has spoken for over 1.5 million authors. Incredible. Supporting clients in 136 countries. Hailey is passionate about helping raise the quality of your life through her private coaching programs for couples, individuals, entrepreneurs, executives, and organizations. She believes that in happiness after depression, confidence, despite anxiety, love after divorce and healing after trauma. She believes that she can be widely successful no matter what your past looks like. Wow, love it. She's probably wondering, have I done all that? Yes, you have. Well, with that wonderful, I'm reading your bio, so that's yes, you have done all that, and so let's welcome her to our stage with a wonderful round of applause. Hello, Hailey. Welcome, welcome to the LizyT show. How are you doing this evening?
Hi, LizyT. I'm so excited to be on with you this evening. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure and honor is all mine. Look at your background. Look at your resume. It's incredible. You have spoken to 5 million and 130 odd countries. So, how long have you been doing this? How long have you been a coach?
That's a great question, Lizzie.
It is.
I feel like the more we go through, the more we grow through, the more people we're meant to help in our lifetime. And I actually have been coaching for over 20 years. I feel like with every passing trauma that I was ever able to overcome myself, it becomes such a pleasure to help other people overcome similar traumas. And it's been an amazing 2 decades, and I look forward to helping lift lives for many more decades to come.
So you said 20 years? That's impossible. You look on that you're on your 20s yourself. So
Oh, I
how
love you.
no, and I'm not like you look incredibly young. You've been taking really good care of yourself, obviously. But yeah, 20 years. When you talk about you have gone through traumas yourself, for people that don't know you, but you're part of my circle now as a woman on fire, what kind of trauma are you talking about?
I'm glad you asked because I think when we name it, we take the shame away from it and we make it possible for more great people
Mhm,
to talk. And so, Lizzie, the reason I've been coaching for over 20 years is Coach Haley was born after a rape over 25 years ago. And I went through a very challenging childhood. I battled depression from the age of
mhm,
8 to 16. Today I'm 43, by the way. I battled anorexia from the age of 8 to 16, two suicide attempts at 16. And just before I was able to turn the corner and make my life better, things got a little bit worse, and I was attacked at knife point when I was 17, which led to cervical cancer, lots of reproductive and reconstructive surgeries. And it was actually 3 weeks after recovering physically from those surgeries that I ran my very first group coaching circle. I was 17. I had no training. I had no business doing coaching, but something inside me said, "You're alive. You are figuring this out. And there are other
mhm,
people that are really struggling right now and they don't know how to figure it out. Be there for them. Help them feel like it's safe to tell their story." And so I came forward with my story. I encouraged peers in my age group to come forward with anything that they felt they couldn't talk to anyone about. And I
mm,
said, as of that day, you could come and talk to me. And over 20 kids my age came forward and said, "I'm going through this and I can't tell anyone. I'm going through this and I can't tell anyone." And so my heart has been working to stay a few steps ahead on the healing journey of all the things that life has brought in my path so that I could bring other great people with me. Some of the other adversities that I've come out the other side of, my first marriage was in my 20s. I believe we pick our partners to be a match for our self worth at the
yes.
time, and I wasn't done my growing yet. And so I came out of a domestic violence situation as a single mom with a baby when I was 27, went through a complete financial rebuild because of that.
Mhm,
And today at 43, raising three amazing boys with my second and forever husband. But all three of our boys are extremely neuro-diverse, with a lot of diagnoses in the house. And our deck of cards isn't an easy one, but
mhm.
it's one we're so grateful for. It's a beautiful, fun, adventurous deck of cards. And any of the challenges that have happened in my own life, Lizzie, I'm always seeking for how can we get to the other side of this? What is the learning? Who can I go and help after I get to the other side of this? And happens to me first before I can take other people through it.
Wow. I'm very rare. I'm speechless, but I am becoming speechless right now. Do you believe that you've probably went through all those trials, all those issues, all those things in your life, so you're able to help others?
1000%. I believe that we get given the experiences that are meant for us, and that there's
Yeah.
learning and there's growth, and that on the other side of every trauma, there are so many blessings. Often it's where we acquire our gifts, our superpowers in life. It's where we often pick our career path or the kind of person, parent, or partner we're going to go through. We are often that phoenix rising after we go through immense struggles. So one of the things I teach as a master coach in radical forgiveness is to make peace with the whole past, to make all the scars beautiful, and to not look back on our lives and wish that anything hadn't happened. So when I look back on my life, and this is what I wish for all my clients, I wouldn't change a single thing. Every part of it, even the hardest, and especially the hardest parts, they were so necessary to get to this part. And that is real peace of mind for any individual, is that when you hit your pillow at the end of the night, you close your eyes and you lay your body down to sleep for the day, to just know everything is going exactly the way it needs to go, and that you have everything within you and all the supports around you to have the resiliency to come through it and make life better on the other side. Because we're all going to go through stuff.
Mm, absolutely. One of the things that you talked about, you just mentioned forgiveness, and as a person that went through abuse myself, and also I wrote a book. Um, One of the things that is the most difficult is to be able to forgive me and to forgive my abuser.
Absolutely.
And with the help of God and the help of counseling and with the help of many other resources, some of us, I'm not saying and you as an expert can reiterate that or confirm that some of us are able to forgive and some of us are not. What do you think depends on forgiving your abuser?
It's such a powerful question, Lizzie. I think we
Hmm.
have to redefine forgiveness and who it's for. One of the first barriers to forgiveness, and similarly, one of the access points to forgiveness, is really understanding it isn't to condone what's happened. It isn't to give the other person a free pass. It isn't to say that what happened was right, okay, or is ever allowed to happen again. And forgiveness is not a freedom card for the other person. Forgiveness is a freedom card for ourselves, so that we aren't carrying around the heavy, heavy thoughts about what's happened. We're not harboring that resentment. We aren't in resistance to what has already happened in our lives. And one of the greatest, challenges with forgiveness is when we're given a command like, just get over it, just let bygones be bygones, just move on. Giving someone a command to forgive isn't teaching them how to forgive. So there's actually a 5-step process that we can move through to be able to access forgiveness. And one of the pieces that I look at is what I call perpetrator's compassion. When I think back in life, for example, to whoever my rapist was when I was 17, and I don't know who he was, I can't help but feel sad for him. What must have happened in his childhood for him to treat another human being that way? What might his state of mental health or his toxicity of drugs or alcohol been like? What kind of modeling of parenting or attunement or love or self confidence did he have? And it's not to say that what he did was okay, because it was heinous, but there's always more than one victim in a story. There's the person who gets hurt by the other person. There's the individual that must clearly be hurting all the way through their life. And so when we can hold space for people do the best that they can at any given moment, and that goes for children and adults, and sometimes one person's best is not very good at all. And if that is the best a person knows how to do, I hold space in my heart for them, because their life must not have been easy getting here. And it's a messy conversation, a conversation about forgiveness. But as it is messy, it is also a necessary conversation, because we don't get to move forward powerfully unless we untether from the trauma.
Mhm. That is one of the key things, is to be able to move forward. And it took me probably about 10 years, and the last year through counseling was able to kind of, like you said, move forward and really put this episode in my life behind me, and not worried or not feel guilty or all of those things. So that's one of the things that I think you're able to help people, is to be able to move forward and have a fulfill life, a successful life, and not have that as a hindrance.
Yeah,
One
and
thing I
a
don't want to.
distinction around forgiveness, just for, your audience's safety. Just because we forgive someone doesn't mean they need a seat at our Sunday dinner table. Doesn't mean they need to be allowed back in our lives, in our space, or within 500 meters of us. Forgiving another person is so that we can move on clearly with our lives. It doesn't change the boundary of what good we keep in and what harm we keep out.
Mhm. I remember one of my things that I had to do in my counseling was to be able to forgive somebody that is not longer with us. And I remember writing a long, long letter to this person, and because it didn't exist anymore, just to burn it. And that made me feel so much better. Again, I was able to move forward and continue on with my life without having this heaviness within me. One of the things that I want to forget, don't want to forget, Haley, is to be able to share with my audience, is where can people reach you? That's very important.
Oh, thank you for asking, Lizzie. I actually like to be reached old school with a text message. If you are going through something and you're listening to this broadcast or watching this broadcast, and you or someone you love are going through a tough time right now, whether it's with your own wellness, whether it is with the health of one of your relationships or with your kids, I love to give a complimentary 30-minute coaching session. And I welcome a real text message. I'll give Lizzie permission to put up my phone number. You can send a text to 416-797-5856 to request a complimentary help session. You can find me on Facebook under my name. There's only one Hailey Patry. You can find me on LinkedIn. But I spend most of my time loving real people, whether it's one-on-one in a session, giving a keynote, hugging my kids. So it's more likely you'll find me by actually a direct message than you will find me hanging out online. And yes, thank you, Lizzie. You can also find me on my website. There's some articles to give you hope and remind you that regardless of what's been in your past, you get so many choices over how the future goes, whether you need a little inspiration for your business, your own happiness, or your relationship. And on almost every page there, my phone number is there, because I really do welcome, if you are ready to lift the quality of your life, to get unstuck, to create closure from the past, and to design a life that you're going to love. I'm sure Lizzie and I would both love to talk to you and spend some time together.
Absolutely, and we will be able to do that very soon this week, next weekend. For you that are watching right now or later on, as this is recorded through all my social media, you can reach this website right here, and the address is down here as well. One of the things that I noticed to you, even when I received your bio, is that you're okay with people texting you, which is very not common nowadays. People read through a website or filling up a form, and you're okay with people communicating with you via text. I guess because of the subject, when
Yeah.
it comes to being in a bad relationship, or abuse or rape, or
And
things like that.
trauma
It
is
is.
so intimate, right? Trauma is
Yes.
so deeply personal,
Yes.
unique, and it is an enormous step for somebody to say, I think I'm ready to claim better for myself and my life. I don't know how to do that on my own. I think I'm ready to get help. And the intimidation that can be there to fill out a web form when you don't know, is it an
Yes.
autoresponder? Is it AI on the other side? And so I like to give people the comfort of saying, this is a real person who's been through a similar journey of overcoming and lives a great life now, who's here to welcome and receive you. And if you're truly ready to be in communication, to receive support, and to lift your life, you deserve a real human being on the other side. And so I never answer the phone, Lizzie, because I'm always in session when I'm not with my kids. But I do write back to every single personal text message. It's really me, not my assistant, not a robot. It's really actually a human. who cares? Because I just believe so much for you. If you're watching the show, I
Mhm.
believe so much that what has already happened to you does not need to define the rest of your life in any negative light whatsoever. It can, in fact, be the very things that empower you to go and be your best, live your best, and help other people. So, yeah, get in touch. I welcome it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, it's not surprising that you got nominated and contacted by Woman on Fire. So let's talk about that. I mean, how was this happening? How did who nominated you? Do you know who nominated you? Have you ever been part of Woman on Fire? Is this your first time?
Oh, good questions, Miss Lizzie. The wonderful woman that nominated me is also a best-selling author, incredible fellow cancer survivor, Francisca Ipao, and I'm so
Oh.
grateful for her for nominating me. Through her nomination was my first time meeting the incredible founder of Women on Fire, Allison Harvey, who just has a
Mm,
heart as big as the universe and
yes.
is so committed through real, pure integrity, authenticity to lift up great women and to have their stories be told to inspire others. So, this will be my first time attending the conference, the pajama party, the gala, all of the things. I'm really looking forward to attending, and it's not why I do the work I do to be recognized. I always get a little bit, there's a little bit of that shy feeling when someone says, I want to give you an award for the work you do and how you help people. But it's
Mhm.
definitely humbling, very touching, and I'm excited to be in the company of such heart-centered, caring, and committed individuals who all have a story. I've heard some of the stories from the women in our networking calls. Girl, oh girl, can we write a storybook together? We got some stories.
And I think that should be the next, just kind of a compilation of all the stories from all of us, because there is so much, and that's really what I wanted to ask you is, what are you expecting from this event? Because as a sponsor for the last 9 years, and this is the 11th year at Woman on Fire, I can tell you, it is such a is one of my favorite events, just to put it that way. I've been part of many events throughout, not only in Canada, but in the US, but this is one of my favorite. Reason being is because we're recognizing Woman on Fire is recognizing ladies that have done great things in the community, where in no other place would ever be notified or even nominated. Here, we are recognizing people that have done incredible work and like yourself and help others, and there should be recognized, there should be a recognition. So what are you expecting?
I am always open for the beautiful connections that will be made, the collaborations that will naturally happen, the I know someone for you and I know someone for you.
Yes.
But there's also a sisterhood and a special kind of friendship that happens when fellow women gather and can tell the truth of what's behind the smile, what's behind their corporate or entrepreneurial mask. Who is the person? What is her journey? How did she get here? How many times did she almost not make it in arriving here? And so there's a speed of closeness that happens in events in circles like this. And after already hearing some of the women's stories, I am expecting that we're gonna change the world for the better together, one person at a time, one collaborative workshop at a time, one collaborative book at a time, one sharing of a dear client at a time. I think we meet the people we're meant to, so we can serve the people that we're meant to. And I already know the caliber of women that I've been meeting that are coming to the event. They're not just extraordinary for what they do, they are extraordinary for how far against the odds they have come. It's
Yes.
one thing to be a hero in your community, it's another to be one when all bets would have been against you even making it and even getting
That's
to this
right.
place. So I just want to celebrate the other great women. I'm so excited to learn from them, hear from them, share stories, break bread together. And I'm staying at the conference hotel for the whole weekend to
Oh,
really have
wow.
a immersive experience. So if you're one of the fellow honorees, one of the amazing sponsors, and you're looking to have a cup of tea or a coffee at the hotel, come and say hi. I'll be there.
For sure. Are you bringing, someone for the gala, or is it gonna be yourself?
Well, normally, Lizzie, I have my handsome husband on my arm. However, because our three kids have some significant special needs, when we book babysitting, we book respite workers. And for this particular weekend, my husband is going to be the hero dad that's got all three kids and holding down the fort. So I am riding solo. I will be seeing some dear friends there, like Francisca. My friend Marion Grand is also an honoree from Absolute Dispute Resolution. She's a mediator that I adore, so she'll be there. But I am officially flying solo at the event, so my heart is open to connect with the great women that'll be there. How about
Awesome. Well,
yourself? Are you attending as a
I am attending both days. I will be there Saturday and Sunday. I do happen to live close to Mississauga, so it's going to be a just quick drive for me. But yes, I am attending the gala with my sound technician and video technician for this studio, which happens to be my husband as well. So yes, I'm looking forward to the gala, and he looks forward to this gala as well. Every year for the last 9 years, we both go together and we cry together, because one of the things that I love about Woman on Fire is to be able to hear incredible speakers, incredible stories, and it's always one story, maybe two sometimes, touches us and makes us a little bit vulnerable. Feels we empathize, and we start, we cry. Can't help it.
I'm
Um,
expecting it's gonna be an excuseless weekend, meaning
yes, it
any
is.
person who hears the stories of what others have triumphed and overcome, any moment when you feel small in your own life and you wonder if you've got the inertia to keep going, you're gonna get to borrow the confidence and the proof from others that, yes, you absolutely can. We are made of the fabric to be very, very strong, to learn, to grow, to come out the other side, to reinvent ourselves, to pivot.
Yes.
And we're going to get to borrow a lot of inspiration from every person that shares. So, what I really want to know, Lizzie, is which pajamas are you wearing to the pajama party?
Oh,
I have no idea. Do I wear the onesie, the unicorn outfit? I don't
Uh,
really know.
I I purchased a two-piece for that, for the pajama party, and yes, blue and purples are one of my favorite colors, so it's blue one. So yes, it's gonna be fun. So yeah, two pieces it is for that night. One of the things that I noticed in the background is one of your latest book.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us, yes, tell us a little bit about, you've written 5 books so far. My goodness. Where do you get your inspiration? I mean, obviously you do have lots of stories to tell, but to be able to write 5 books so far, my goodness.
This one, the inspiration, that's an easy answer. This book, Lizzie, is the one cover to cover, 236 pages. This is all my heart. The other books were beautiful compilations written with a collection of doctors, experts, and colleagues in the world of personal growth, empowerment, and overcoming adversity. So this one really is my baby. And Happy Love is a guidebook for couples who wish to fall deeper in love with each other, whether they're starting from a good place and they want to keep it there, or whether they're going through trauma, perhaps even infidelity, perhaps even wondering if they should still stay together as a couple. And writing this book was a really important project in the span of just a few weeks. I was going through some neurological health issues and I was losing my words. I was having blips in my ability to speak and to write. And I got very worried that maybe I wouldn't be able to work anymore. And the techniques that have helped so many couples turn their love around, what if I couldn't help people anymore? So I put all the techniques that I work on with my private clients into the book to make sure that if I wasn't able to work, couples could get their hands on this book and they could DIY a marriage repair, a relationship repair. They could use the book for marriage preparation, for young couples to learn the skills, or for deeply traumatized couples to reinvent how they do love together. And so I'm excited for all the things that this book gives, all the techniques. It covers the 5-step ideal love method, the 6 secret skills of happy couples and how to be one, with a strong touch on the fact that it takes one healthy person before you can have two healthy people dancing in a relationship together. And this is a labor of love. So I am always happy to share a free digital copy of the book. If you are in a relationship or you care about someone that is, send me a text and ask for a free copy of Happy Love. It's my pleasure to send you a digital copy. And if you prefer paper and you want the real book, because it is a real book, come and see me at the event, and I'll bring a handful to the event
I
and
was
try
just gonna
to
say, yes, are you gonna be bringing the book to the, event? And, the answer is yes, so awesome. For
I
those
will
that
have
are
a small handful for a couple who is truly ready to turn their love around. The first person that asks for one is going to get it for free and signed, and after that, they're selling for $30, and it's everything that you need to remake your relationship outside of coming to me for coaching, which is my arms are always welcome to support there too.
one of the things as a married couple, and one of the things that I realized after being married for 31 years is to be able to be understanding, and also one of the things that I hear a lot, especially with new couples, he will change, she will change. And that's not the reality. You cannot change anyone. You
Sure,
are able,
more of this thing that you don't like. You can expect more of this thing.
that's right. That's right. So being understanding and being compassionate and respectful of their faults, of their things that you probably don't agree, or you feel that this is driving me crazy. I wish he or she could stop doing that. I noticed that for myself, that I ended up accepting that's the way the person is. There is no way that they can change, and so I'm going to be able to learn how to deal how this person does certain things, or say certain things, instead of me trying to be frustrated and angry and I can't do this anymore. You are able to accept.
And
Can
I
you
think
concur?
it's beautiful on both sides. And so for some people, change might be a dirty word because it's a word that people impose
Yes.
on you. You need to stop being this way, start doing this, and you need to do it
Yes.
for me. So while change is less likely, transformation is highly possible. But transformation happens not when you point at someone and say, you need to. Transformation happens when a person looks in the mirror and says, I want to shift the way that I'm being. I want to shift my health. I want to shift the impact that I have on others around me, or the way that I occur to others. And so if we take the word change and we replace it with transformation, transformation is absolutely possible for an individual and for a couple, but when the individual chooses it for themselves. And if we do what you've suggested, Lizzie, we're going to have so much more peace in our relationships. That acceptance and surrender of the person that you've chosen to love, if there's a piece of them you have known about from the beginning and you chose them, that is very sage wisdom to practice surrender and acceptance for it. But people do evolve over time, and sometimes they devolve, and their character might slip, their behavior and habits might slip. We don't have to accept what feels unsafe for us to be in a relationship with. So, whether that is around substance use, dishonesty, infidelity, trauma, and harm giving. And so, there can be a really fine line between accepting our partner's quirks and accepting if they start to go down over time in the way they show up in relationship. Real peace comes from both partners fine tuning the dial. How can I dial up and be my best self for me and for you? And how can the other person dial up their acceptance, grace, tolerance? When we're both working on showing up our best, that is where we get real peace in the relationship. So, are you going to change your partner because you tell them they have to? No. Can your partner transform if they want that for themselves and they get the right support? Absolutely. Is it worth being patient in the meantime? If you feel safe, yes. But there's that fine line between some things we're just not meant to be tolerant of. If your partner's 5 minutes late for things, takes a long time to get ready, or leaves socks on the bathroom floor, work on your tolerance. There are certain behaviors where tolerance is not the conversation we'd have. Safety planning might be the conversation we have. And so these are great reasons to reach out to Lizzie and I. If you're ever in a place where you're not sure, are you meant to work on your tolerance or work on your exit planning? We both might have some insight on the subject.
Absolutely. And it's funny how you mentioned, leaves the socks in the bathroom or on the floor, the dishes piling up and not doing anything about it. And you talked about trauma. And I remember my husband telling me one of the things that I used to be punished when I was a child is do the dishes.
Oh,
That was punishment since he was 5, 6, 7 until his 16th birthday, if I'm not mistaken. So for him to be able to do the dishes, it reminds him all those punishment, whether it was his fault or not, or he's out of five brothers and two sisters, none of them got that punishment other than him. And
that's
so,
triggering.
yes, so that's ingrained, and there's nothing we can do other than saying, "Don't worry, the dishes are gonna get done. You don't have to touch it. I will put them on the machine myself." So at the beginning, right, it is that me judging. I don't know if that's the right word, but getting uncomfortable and fighting over those little things and turning into a big ordeal for something that I had no idea that was part of his childhood. That
And you
really,
mentioned such a powerful distinction in there, Lizzie, for your
yes,
audience. When your partner does something that rubs you the wrong way, if we pause for a moment, we want to be curious, not furious. Our first reaction is to be curious.
yes,
Notice that you don't do this. I'm wondering how come. I notice that you get uncomfortable when I ask you this. I'm wondering how come. And if we take that lens of being curious instead of judging or being furious, then hopefully they'll feel safe enough with us to open up the story of what's there. And just because something is triggering doesn't mean we can't heal and resolve it. But it's such interesting work to learn the past, learn how we got to be the ways that we are. And it sounds like he's a very lucky man, Lizzie, because he's got a beautifully tolerant wife who says, I love you. I'll do the dishes for you. There's other things you can do for me.
well, just the fact that he helps out with the studio, that to me, it's already taken care, it's already paid. Whether the dishes go through 5, 10 piles, that's not a problem, and he still does it. But I can tell, it's very sensitive for him to be able to go through that and let it go. I mean, maybe someday he will, but as a right now, after 31 years, we're not there yet, and
And that's
that's okay.
your beautiful love for him to say, I
Mhm.
got you. And you don't need to change this for me. I am okay with you being this way around, feeling emotionally about the dishes. I got that for you. And it sounds like you have a beautiful swell of appreciation and gratitude for all the ways he's a contribution in your life. And this is the dance of partnership, right? There's
Yes.
things that one does that the other doesn't. There's things that we share. There's things that we both bring to each other's lives. And it's beautiful. So Lizzie, I can't wait to meet you and
I
your
can't
husband
wait to
at the
meet
event.
you, Hailey. We have so much in common, and I can completely understand what your life became as a coach. Obviously, you have so much to share and help others, and that's really what I love about a true entrepreneur is to be able to serve, and you are doing that. And for you to be able to be part of this network, this sisterhood that we have here at Woman on Fire, I don't see it any other way. You have to be part of this and to be able to serve a huge community that is growing as a woman on fire, not just in Canada, not the US, around the world. I mean, you
Yeah.
already have 136 country. You're probably going to be adding more to your repertoire.
I heard the story of a beautiful woman who is living in Nigeria, and she was at one of the networking events. And honestly, I think what happens when people share their backstory behind the
Mhm.
smile, you fall in love with somebody in a moment. And I mean
Yeah,
that platonic admiration form of love where you can say, in 10 minutes, I know you. I get you. I see you. I hear you. I appreciate you. I respect you. And this is something we need more in the world is
you would do.
workplaces, friendships, networking, where we can actually tell the truth to say, gosh, this is what I'm going through in my life right now, but I'm still showing up with my best smile that I can. But it wasn't easy today. And when we can build relationships from such an authentic place, love and connection happens quickly. And so speaking of love and connection, Lizzie, I don't know what the rest of your night looks like, but I'm going to help one amazing couple redesign their marriage in 5 minutes. And then I'm going
That's
to help
right.
one amazing individual who has chosen to part ways with anger and become a calm husband and father. It's been beautiful to watch. He reminds me that while people might not change, they certainly can choose to transform.
Awesome. And here you are continuing helping the community. That's awesome. Well, I can't wait to see you next weekend. And again, it was an honor and pleasure having you here. And congratulations on being nominated and keep up the good work and see
Thank
you
you.
soon.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Lizzie. Can't wait to hug you in person. Thank you for
You
the amazing
too.
work that you do, profiling people who really care and what they're about and why they do it. So thank you for being you. And I might come hang out at your table for a little bit at the event just so I can meet you and
Oh,
your husband.
if you don't, I will. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you soon with another Woman on Fire. Bye, Haley. Bye for now.
Thank you.